What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about the Rockets getting Silas. I think this is going to be good for them. They get a guy they're going to try out, and he's new and he's fresh to being a head coach on this team. Mike D'Antoni ended up being a great coach for what they was trying to do in Houston when his time was there. He helped James Harden become an MVP. They won the number one record in the entire NBA, and they was only one quarter away from being in the NBA Finals. And now they have no Mike D'Antoni or no Daryl Morey, who made all the moves and tried to satisfy everybody while still trying to make a competitive roster. And now they will have a new GM coming in, which we all know who is going to be most likely because they're going to promote them. If not, they're going to go in a different direction. You do got to reserve all your options. So we'll see who their GM will be. I'll be covering that later. But the coach is important, and this team has to have a coach that Russell and Harden respects. That's why you don't rush out there and get another coach. That's why you have to take your time because Russ and Harden are in their prime. They're hungry. They're trying to win a title. They're trying to play at the best of their ability. And even though Russell Westbrook was a little banged up and he had COVID going into the NBA playoffs, he still played like a superstar, and we wanted to see if him and Harden can really be a dangerous team. Everybody respected the Rockets all year. This is a team you don't want to play. This is a team you should be scared of because they hit a lot of threes. They got Harden and Westbrook, one of the best duos in the entire NBA. And even though they disappointed in the playoffs, even though they made it to the second round, they went 7 games with the Thunder, and they barely won that game. And then they only won one game against the Lakers and lost 4 straight. So this team is not where they need to be. Harden even admitted that this team is a piece away. That's going to be the interesting thing is, one, having a head coach that can give you a style and give you a brand of basketball that you can play. We have seen that if you have Harden, you're in the playoffs if he's healthy. And if you put him with somebody else, you're a dangerous team. It's just about getting over the hump. And Mike D'Antoni and Daryl Morey was there for so many years and they couldn't do it. And now they're in a situation where a lot of people are saying you probably got another 1 or 2 years in Harden at his best before he start declining. And even if he decline, I don't think it's going to be steep, warring any injuries happening. But how long can Westbrook play at an elite level? He declined a lot in the playoffs every year. His numbers go down. His efficiency isn't good enough to win against the best teams in the NBA. And that's one of the biggest reasons why he hasn't won the title. And a lot of people are frustrated with Harden because he hasn't become a great defender, but he has become a good one. But he hasn't been able to be an all-around offensive player when it comes to attacking all places on the court, like back cuts and stuff like that. He just stands around and play your turn, my turn. And that's what they did in OKC. And they got them to the finals, but they did not win the ship. And that style of play, which a lot of people call hero ball, yeah, Russell and James are unstoppable one-on-one. But when you're going against a team that can game plan against you, a team that can match up well with you defensively, like we've seen with Lou Dort and other guys, these guys can get contained and these guys can get their numbers, but they're not winning. And that's what it's all about in the NBA. Can you win basketball games? Can you win titles? And Russell and Harden hasn't been able to do that just yet. And that's why they're in this stuck position. And it's unfortunate because they're both great players and they both go into the Hall of Fame and they both have put up crazy stats, but they both haven't been able to get over that hump as players. And that's something that they're going to have to figure out, in my personal opinion. And that's something that hopefully the GM can figure out because I don't think the coach is as important as the GM. And the reason why I said that is because you have to get the talent around this team to get over that hump. Daryl Morey spent 13 seasons and wasn't able to do it. And he's one of the best GMs. And he actually got hired with the Sixers today because he's just that good at what he does. And he could not get over the hump with Harden at all. He changed Howard with them, Russell with them, Chris Paul with them, even without them, giving them floor space and them being the point guard, and none of it has worked. So the GM is going to have to figure out what we need to put around Harden to get us to a title if they decide to keep going with him for the next couple years that he's under contract. And even if they do, what type of style are they going to play? Are they still going to go with analytics? They have a new owner, they have a new coach, and they're going to have a new GM. Will that be the brand? Will that be the style? Because it hasn't won titles and it hasn't produced those type of results. So that's going to be question 2, in my personal opinion, because it hasn't got the job done either. So They got a lot of things to figure out in Houston. They're not in the worst situation just because they still do have two of the best players in the world. The problem is actually winning with those guys as your best player, and that's what they're going to have to solve. And then the roster, this small ball, micro ball style, I want to see what happens. They have to figure out with the contracts and the players that they have possibly going out and the cap that they have this season going to be shorter because of the COVID-19 situation. You look at how can they improve this roster to get over the hump, and I don't see anything out there. I don't see one player that I say the Rockets should trade for that guy, put him on this team, and they win you a title. I don't see that. I literally don't see it right now. Now, I could be wrong, or something can come up, or they can see something draft time. They can see what happens in free agency. They can see what happens around a trade deadline. Somebody might get unhappy. Some team might want to give up and blow it up. And that player might become available and the Rockets can make a move, and like we did with Capella, oh Covington this, and they get rid of Capella, get Covington. Everybody think it's genius because they going all in on their style, and then they fall ultimately short at the end of the day, which is unfortunate. So, in my personal opinion, this team is going to be tough. If I'm a coach, I'm happy because I have one of the better teams, but I'm also seeing like what can we do to get better. And changing their style of play might be the answer. Challenging Harden to do more than iso ball might be a challenge. Trying to figure out how can you get the best out of Westbrook. They did that a lot this season when he ended up just going straight to the paint. But when the postseason came, teams sagged off. Teams forced him and gave him the shot, and he still cannot make it, and he still cannot knock it down. And he's been in the league for over 10 years, and he still hasn't been able to solve that problem. And Harden has been unguardable, he has been unstoppable, and he has been one of the greatest scorers that we have ever seen in the history of the NBA. But that hasn't got him to the finals. He has been the number one option. He has been the MVP. He has been the best shooting guard. He has been a top five player. He has been a multiple time All Star in gold medalist, but he still hasn't been able to even get to the finals to even have a chance to win a title as the number one option and as the man. And that's what we're going to have to see. Can he do that? Will he be good enough? And if he is, how long is it going to take them? Because his age is coming up. Then you're going to have to give him an extension when he's getting even older. Those things matter. So I think the window is starting to close. Once they traded a lot of their picks for Westbrook and he didn't mesh the way that they wanted him to with Harden, they put themselves in a jam where you got 2 to 3 years to figure this out. And figuring it out isn't just being good enough to make it to the playoffs, it's being good enough to win the title. And I don't see that with this roster currently constructed. I can see it if they add another piece that I don't see out there. They'd be right back in the mix with the other teams. If Russell Westbrook and Harden play their best basketball and they stay healthy. But if they stay this way or they make a minor move, they're not going to be one of the top three teams in the Western Conference. You have Denver, you have Golden State, you have the Lakers, you have the Clippers, and you have other teams that's just right there, like the Rockets. And that means that you're in the mix as one of the great teams, but you're not in the mix as one of the elite teams. And that's what they're going to have to figure out with Harden and Westbrook this season, and if they decide to keep them together again next year, and then they're in a situation where they're going to be forced to blow it up, or just try to hang on for money's sake, because Harden has been a great addition when it comes to the fan favorite players, and also in Houston. So we'll see what they do. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that continues to check it out. Also, I have a spread shirt where you can buy merchandise on there. You can also buy merchandise on my Facebook page. I have hats and I have shirts on display that you can buy. You can change the color of the logo. You can change the color of the hat. And you can change the color of anything that you want to the color that you want it to be. You can message me. I can get it shipped out to you. Also, if you're new to the channel, I do make basketball videos every single day. So if you love basketball and you like a variety of topics, I offer breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, and even summer league players, NBA draft coverage, free agency coverage, trade deadline coverage, top 10 lists, even previews, NBA playoff predictions throughout the whole entire year. So if you love basketball and you can't get enough of it, I I have a lot to offer. I have over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos on my channel, and I go every day. So if you like that and you need that, this is the channel for you. Also, liking and sharing allows more people to see the video, and that allows me to reach more people. That's another thing that you guys can do to help support the channel, and thank you for the people that already do. Not only that, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow with another video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And it's going to be crazy when the season is about to start again. The draft is about to come, and we're getting ready for more basketball, and that's what we want to see. I'm going.